Welcome back, everybody. This is Andrew Jensen, your friendly neighborhood realtor. For today's video, I wanted to talk to all the brand new, greeny, newbie, rookie agents out there that are just getting into real estate, because one of the hardest things about being new is understanding, well, what now? After you've gotten licensed. So this is a little bit of a follow-up to the last video that I did, which is all about how to become a realtor or real estate agent. So this one is all about just what to do next. So these are going to be some of my best tips and advice to help all the new rookie agents out there to know what to do. So let's get started. First thing that you should consider as a brand new agent is thinking about, kind of coming from a customer's point of view. I mean, this is essentially the biggest transaction of their life, and we always say that because it really is. But at the end of the day, they are trusting you with the sale of their home, and that's huge. That takes a lot of confidence in you as an agent to be able to take care of that. So my advice for you, one of the first things you should think about is be the expert in the room. That means being able to answer all of their questions, being able to know your market, being able to understand and be able to respond to some of their concerns that they might have about, should I wait to sell in the spring, or when is a good time to sell based on the market? Those are the kinds of questions that a lot of people have, and that they're going to be looking to you as the expert in real estate to be able to answer. Be the expert, but also be passionate about it. Actually, you went through all of this trouble to get licensed. You went through all the trouble to become a realtor or real estate agent. I think you just gotta love it. Make sure that your clients understand that you do have a passion for this, that it's something that you enjoy doing, and that'll help them to have more confidence in you because they can see that you're really into this, which is a good thing because they are trusting you to be able to coach them through the whole process with expertise. So that's my first advice. So now that you're the expert and you can answer all those frequently asked questions, the next big thing for you is to reach out to people. Talk to everybody that you know. Work on your sphere. That's the whole thing. When you're brand new, you gotta find a client base. And the client base is the people that you know. So work those people, take them out to lunches, talk to them over the phone, mention it in conversations. Yeah, hey, I've just been working in real estate now for, I can't believe it's already been 6 months, whatever, right? Talk to people in your sphere, let them know that you're a realtor, start doing your posts on Facebook and Instagram. During the pandemic, you might not be doing as much, taking people to lunches, so I suggest phone calls. So phone calls are better than texting. If you have somebody that you're thinking about working with, give them a call. The connection between a phone call versus a text is way, way different. So anyways, that's my thoughts on that one. You should work your sphere for sure. And like I said, phone calls are way more effective than a text or a message online. They get ignored pretty easily when you just text or message, but a phone call is hard to ignore. You're there on the phone. Another thing that you should probably think about is getting into a CRM. Those will help you to manage the data, manage leads, phone calls, keeping track of everything. That's really helpful. If you don't want to pay for something like a CRM, or if your brokerage doesn't provide anything like that, one thing that you can do is you can use things like Trello. Trello has free application, and it allows you to manage things, kind of keep track of tasks, and you can even literally just do like a Google Sheets of all the people that you know, and it's actually quite easy to just dump all your contacts into a Google Sheet and then sort of keep track of what you're doing with them. So as you're brand new and as you're working on your sphere of influence, it's always good to keep track of what's going on. That way you don't have to run into the issue of what did I say to this person? I can't remember, because I have the worst memory in the world, and so the best thing I can do is write everything down. And it got really bright in here fast. Okay, so now that you've sort of got your sphere in place, and maybe you're using a CRM or even literally something as simple as a Google Sheet, you need to start learning how to work on converting people. So you need to think about what it takes to convert somebody from a person you know, or even a stranger, from a potential client situation to an actual client situation. So what I suggest is, this is not mine whatsoever, this is Ryan Serhan, and this is his 3 F's, which is follow up, follow back, follow through. So with the follow-up one, that's essentially you are keeping in touch with people that you just met. And usually it's within a day. So if I run into somebody, say I have a listing already up, and somebody inquires about that listing that's not being represented by a realtor in any way, what I will do is I will then follow up with them, see if they're a buyer or a realtor, make sure I know who they are, see if they're working with anybody. If they're not, then I will say, okay, let's totally look at this house. and I'll show them the home. I'll always make sure that I follow up with them usually in a day, maybe 2 days, just to see how they're going, see what they thought of the first showing, and seeing if there's any other homes that I can show them. So that way we've taken this potential client and we're sort of making the steps into the conversion of them into a, real client. The next one is the follow through. Follow through is a good one because follow through is really, you're doing what you say you're gonna do. So you've got this lead, and let's say they wanna go look at XYZ houses. Your follow through is organizing those appointments and actually making sure that you are listening to them and what their needs are, what their filters are, what they don't wanna go see. And that just gives you a lot of integrity. As long as you're following through and doing what you're saying you're gonna do, that makes a big difference. And then the next one is follow back. And follow back is a good one because it's keeping in touch with all the old contacts that you used to have. So let's say you sold a home, maybe a year ago. Keeping in touch with that old client is gonna help you to kind of just be in their mind. And it's not saying, hey, do you have anybody that I can sell their home for? It's more like, hey, just wanted to see how you're doing, happy Thanksgiving or happy St. Patrick's Day, and sending them a little video message or something like that. Those make a big difference. So that's kind of your follow up, your follow through, and your follow back. So those are the 3 F's that help you to take clients that are potential clients and convert them into real clients. Once you've been able to convert clients that you know, so that's your original sphere of influence, then it's time to start working on the clients that you don't know, the stranger clients. And that one is a lot harder. There's only probably about 8% to 10% of those that are gonna convert into an actual client. So keep in mind, that's a numbers game. It takes a lot more of those, but it's something that you gotta be able to start talking to strangers and start talking to people and be confident in your skills as a real estate agent in front of complete strangers. So the next step after you have kind of learned the basics of converting a client, it's then generating leads. That's kind of the next step they need to start thinking about. And so when it comes to generating leads, I think one of the main things you got to remember is, who are you as an agent? What do you bring to the table? Because that's going to affect the way that you generate your leads. So if you're the kind of person that is the life of the party, if you're the kind of person that can totally control a room and you're super charismatic, then what I suggest that you do is go to these event parties, go to places where there are a bunch of people that you can mingle with and network with, and use your charisma to your advantage. If you're more of maybe like an introverted type person, then you might want to start a blog online. You might want to start commenting on different real estate groups on Facebook. Whatever it takes for you as an introverted person, there's always a way to generate leads, and you don't always have to be in somebody's face or do anything that's too far outside of your comfort zone. So you got to kind of just figure out what works for you and use that to your advantage. So my other thing for all you newbies out there is find a mentor. So you can work on all your own stuff, whether it's generating your leads, or whether it's working your sphere, or whether it's working strangers. But at the end of the day, experience is the best teacher. So why not use somebody at your brokerage that has the most experience and is obviously very successful in maybe an avenue that you want to pursue. So if you don't want to do like foreclosures, and the person who's making the most money at your brokerage is somebody who is an expert in foreclosures, don't use them. But find somebody that clearly has sort of the same mindset as you, somebody that you can gel with at your brokerage that's doing well, and use them as a mentor. Shadow with them, figure out what they do that works for them, and then adapt it to your own circumstances. Definitely makes a big difference as you're first starting. Plus, it gives you somebody to bounce ideas off of, as in like, is this a good idea for an open house? Should I have a photo booth in there, or has that never worked in the past? Whatever, right? You can bounce ideas off somebody, and that gives you a lot more of an advantage coming in as a new agent versus somebody who's just lone wolf in it, flying solo. So find a mentor, somebody that you trust and somebody that you could work well with, and use them to help give you a bit of a boost. So I'm just thinking the last thing that I would tell a new agent is to be careful where you put your money. And what I mean by that is, it can be very tempting to go, maybe you see a Facebook video or a YouTube video and it says, here's how you can, use ads to generate leads for your real estate business. And all you have to do is, set up a pixel on Facebook and generate your ads that way. And that can work. I'm not saying that doesn't work, but when you're brand new and you haven't really quite mastered the idea of converting a potential client into a real client, if you're not quite there yet, then I suggest you just totally focus on your sphere. So before you go and invest a whole bunch of money into Facebook ads or Instagram ads or working on your Google SEO for your own website, I suggest that you just work on your sphere. You know, write them down, talk to everybody, and you will get leads that way that are way easier to not only work with, but are actually going to convert way better into an actual paying client. All right, that pretty much sums it up, guys. I hope that this has been helpful, especially if you're a new agent, just to give you an idea of how to get started on the right foot. You know, it's not that complicated. Honestly, just learn to be the expert, get to know your FAQs, think about how you can generate leads using your sphere of influence. Think about how to convert those leads into actual clients. And also get a good mentor, you know, be careful where you put your money and use your personality. Use who you are to be a really cool agent. It doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter what market you're in. People still need to buy and sell homes, and that's where you can come in and you can make a real influence in your community and you can help people in a really meaningful way. So good luck out there, new guys. You can totally do this, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.